Well, we're extremely excited to have so many companies from the food and beverage industry throughout the Hudson Valley participate in today's event.
I think a lot of the companies in Orange County are sometimes caught under the radar and maybe don't have the opportunities like this to really get some great professional expertise, and I think that this is just going to really help them kind of keep on expanding and moving forward, and it's going to be great.
Times have changed dramatically from when I started doing this 20 plus years ago. People are starting to recognize the value of their brands, and now it's an asset in and of itself.
Hoping that we'll be able to educate people, alert them to some new concepts on ways that they can help create strong rights for their companies.
Bringing them here today so they can learn about trademarks is really vital to kind of network and bring some importance to the Food and Beverage Alliance.
Protecting one's brand, whether it's a new micro-brewed beer you've invented, or the name of your first restaurant, or even your own name for that matter, is more critical today than it has ever been before, given the sheer power of the internet and the global reach of social media.
Intellectual property is the creation of lawful barriers to entry, because as you go and try to get people to invest in your business, they will say, well, what's to stop the big guys from ripping you off? And we're here to help you rise to that challenge, to begin to answer that. The moral is that that which goes without saying often goes without doing. Of course they own the copyright. Of course the authors that they paid are assigned. Of course the web host guy who designed your website intends for you to own the code. Of course the domain name is owned by you. Of course the guy you paid to do your advertising stuff intends to assign these rights. Then when unpleasantness occurs, was there a writing? Was there a contract? Did you file for trademark protection? Did you file for copyright protection?
What trade dress is really a subset of trademark rights. So what we're doing here is, instead of having the name of the product act as a source identifier, here it's the look and feel, or even the shape of the product or its packaging acts as a source identifier. So when you see it, you think that that product came from a particular source. Maker's Mark made bourbon with a dripping red wax seal at the top. And Casa Cuervo decided to launch a tequila product that had a similar type of cap. So Maker's Mark sued them based on the fact that they had been using this dripping wax seal on their bottles since the 1950s. They actually had a trademark registration for it. And they basically were saying that the introduction of this competing label would cause confusion in the marketplace. So they went into court. They got a preliminary injunction. The court agreed that they had protectable trade dress in the dripping wax seal. And then the Casa Cuervo appealed it to the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. The argument that was made by Casa Cuervo was that it was aesthetically functional, and therefore it wasn't entitled to trade dress protection. But the court rejected that argument and said that basically the use of this dripping wax seal was likely to cause confusion, and therefore they found trademark infringement.
Terrific learning experience for companies that are starting out, that have new products, have new services, to show them how to protect their intellectual property and to protect their brand and to be able to grow their business in a positive way.
Well, there are a lot of granola bars out on the market. Our granola bar is in the process of being trademarked, and we were worried that we may run into a problem because of the name Lola.
I found it very useful, very compelling, and I'm going to bring a lot of this information to the small businesses in the village of Ossining in an effort to make the case that they should look into protecting their brand.
You know, the Hudson Valley is a dynamic region. I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to lead this movement of farm to table and really get behind the Hudson Valley Food and Beverage Alliance.
And this is just a great example of how the information on trademarking ties right into all the work that we do. We chose to be here today because we represent a broad base of groups throughout downstate New York, business organizations, chambers of commerce, utility companies, transmission operators, power generators like Entergy, as well as organized labor.
Hudson Valley Economic Development, as part of the Food for Thought series, we'll be having a number of different events. Chef panel, financial management information, access to different resources. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to ask them today what other things they'd like to see, and then we'll take it from there and see what they like.